Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Beth, and I am with the Education Alliance. At the Education Alliance, our mission is to bring businesses and communities together to support public schools, and we are passionate about helping students explore career opportunities and develop the skills they need for future success. And one of the ways that we do this is through programs like this. This is our virtual work-based learning program, which we connect students with industry professionals to gain real-world insights and experiences. And today, I'm so excited that we have the opportunity to partner with a CPA. Her name is Morgan. She's going to give you a firsthand look at careers in this field. Whenever you're ready.
Let me share my screen. Okay. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Okay. Share. There we go. Okay, can you see my slideshow?
Yep, we sure
Okay.
can.
Okay, so let me make you guys a little bigger just in case I need to see you. Okay. Okay, so like Beth said, I am a CPA. My name is Morgan Hunt. I work for a CPA firm called Suttle and Stalnaker. We are, oh, and I'll go into more detail about my firm and myself and my presentation, but we are a West Virginia only based firm. Our main office is in Charleston, West Virginia, but we have offices in Morgantown, which is where I am. We are in Parkersburg, and we are also in Huntington. So we are kind of all throughout the states. We have a little over 100 employees, and we have a lot of remote workers too. So those are all out there too. So I'm here to talk to you today about a career in accounting. So this presentation was it was from the AICPA, and I also kind of edited it to add a little bit of our information to it. So it's a little, it's cute, but then you'll also see some serious slides from us. So, okay, discover your future. Okay, so to start, I wanted to hear from you all. So I wanted you all to take just a minute to kind of think about what your dream job is. Is there a dream company that you have in mind, or a dream job title that you've thought about? Are there specific responsibilities that you wanted to be performing or be in charge of? And I also want to know, like, what is your dream, or why is it your dream job? Is there a specific reason? Have you done it before? Have you grown up around it? So if you could just take a second to think about that, I'd love to hear from you, from a couple of volunteers if you guys are willing to share, but I get it. I'll share mine really quickly. So when I was exactly your age, when I was exactly in your all's position in high school, I didn't really have any idea, and so there was this website out there through West Virginia, um, that it helped kids kind of figure out what careers were out there, and to look into those. And so I spent a lot of time on that website just kind of looking at careers. And when you click on a specific career, and they were all listed in alphabetical order, it would list the information about it. What did they do? What education you needed? And specifically the salary range that I was most interested in. And so from this, I decided I wanted to be a chief executive officer, a CEO. Which, if you don't know, CEOs are really just it's a title for like the top person in a company. I didn't know what specific company I wanted to be a CEO of. No idea. I knew I wanted to be a CEO. And my main pull to that was the salary that was listed with it. So if you could see where my mind was at that time, it was obviously based on money. And although I'm not a CEO now, I could be. I could eventually in my career, I could be a CEO if I wanted to. I could be a partner in the firm that I currently work in, which is almost a CEO. It's a boss. So we'll see. I'm in the middle of my career, and so I still have some ways to go and where I end up. But is anybody willing to share their response to this question? Do you have a dream job? Anything in mind?
Uh, Probably like engineering.
Engineering is a good one. Why is that?
Um, I like math.
I like math too. Anyone else?
I also put I want to be a CEO.
Yeah. What was your draw to CEO?
Money.
Money. Money. Yes, I get it. I get it, guys. Okay, so yeah, so it's easy to, see those things, CEO, engineering, and those are great guidelines and kind of aspirations to have in your mind to see where you want to end up, because you can end up there. It is very possible. So we'll go on. But it also, what do these careers have in common? Do you guys know? Question for you all. Any career, really. It pays you. What'd you say?
Make money.
Money. Yes. So, what if I told you that what I do allows me to work with any of the jobs that you all have said, or the career paths that you said, um, every day? That's what accounting is. Money. What do you do with money? How do you get money? So you can get money from a job, from an allowance, as a gift, from a holiday. What do you do with it? Do you save it? Do you invest it? Do you donate it? Or do you just immediately spend it like my 10-year-old does as soon as she gets some money? These are all decisions we have to make when we have some cash. And everybody receives it differently, everybody uses it differently, but accountants help adults and businesses manage their money. We help them make decisions and help their businesses be successful. So according to the Oxford Dictionary, the definition of an accountant is a person whose job is to keep, inspect, and analyze financial accounts. Accountants are responsible for their clients' personal and professional information. And that's true. So now we know what an accountant is, but do we know what accountants do? So accountants are money organizers. So just like you might use a calendar or to keep track of your homework, or a locker to organize your stuff, accountants can organize financial information for clients. They know how much money a person or business makes and spends to ultimately determine whether a business is successful or profitable or not. Accountants are also problem solvers. So we're like detectives. We use numbers to find and fix money issues, like if money is missing, or we can detect suspicious transactions and look for irregularities. Um, we also help individuals and businesses make big financial decisions, like saving for college or buying a new store. Okay, a little about me. So, like I told you, I work for Suttle and Stalnaker. My job title is a tax manager. So, as a manager, I prepare tax returns for individuals, businesses, and nonprofits all over West Virginia, even some out of state. I've even worked on some foreign tax stuff, which is not my favorite, but I've done it. And this is my dream job because I get to work directly and help people directly every single day. Taxes can be pretty complicated, especially if you are a small business owner, or trying to start a business. And so part of my job is helping businesses understand how to account for their money, the language of money. That's what I do. And I also get to talk to people directly and help with recruiting here, and just a bunch of different things that I really enjoy. So this is why it's my dream job. Being a tax manager has allowed me to have a work-life balance. It allows me to attend my children's activities during outside tax season and even some during tax season. That's my busy time. I get to participate with the West Virginia Society of CPAs, which I'll talk about that later. It's an organization of CPAs for the states. I get to travel to really cool places like Atlanta, Georgia, or Las Vegas, Nevada for trainings in CPE. That's where I was in this picture. I was in Las Vegas. Part of one of the vendors was a puppy relaxation group. And so I went to go snuggle some puppies after training all day. My career allows me to constantly learn and grow in my profession, which I think is really great. They invest in me every day. And I get to work and meet with people in all kinds of different industries and learn about those industries too. Like I said, I'm a tax manager. I'm a certified public accountant. That is what CPA stands for. And we'll go into this more later, but being a CPA and being an accountant are a little bit different. We still can work on the same stuff, but I am certified. So I have taken the certified professional or public accountant exam, which is 4 exams that you have to pass to get this certification. And it's a big credential to get. And to be able to do certain things out in the public accounting world. So I have 3 kids. I have 2 boys and 1 girl. I work in Morgantown, West Virginia, but I live in Brewston Mills. So I'm North Central West Virginia. I'm not too far from you guys. I went to Morgantown High School here in Morgantown. And lastly, I went to WVU for my undergraduate degree and my graduate degree. So I did my undergraduate, and to do the certified public accountant exam, you have to have 150 credit hours. And so your undergraduate degree normally is 126 or 25, something like that. But to take the exam and to become a CPA, you have to have 150 credit hours. I think they're working on changing that. It might be 130 now. So I had to also get a master's degree, which is just one way of getting there. And so that's what I got 2 degrees from WVU. Okay, so a little about Suttle and Stalnaker. It was founded in 1973. They're the largest West Virginia owned CPA firm. We are employee focused, and our employees, the firm recognizes that our employees are our greatest asset. We are the service we are providing to our clients. And so our happiness and our success is really the firm's success. And our firm recognizes that. We're niche driven, which just means like if we have a specific focus, like crypto or something like that, we try to hone in on that and specialize on it. We value face-to-face relationships with our clients, even though some clients we don't have any, face-to-face contact with because they could be in California or they could be in a different continent. But we value those face-to-face relationships. We try our best to provide solutions and not just to identify problems. And we're a local firm with national and regional resources. So we're actually part of a larger firm that can help us if we have bigger problems that we're not used to seeing, which sometimes we do. We don't get too crazy in our work, but sometimes we do have those outcasts that we do have to reach out for help. Oops. Next, maybe, there we go. No. Oh, sorry guys. Okay. So these are some areas of specialization that we do. We have auto dealerships, a lot of auto dealerships down in Charleston. We work with a lot of construction companies, lots of energy and natural resources, as this is West Virginia, and that is plentiful here. We work with banks, and we do a lot of government and nonprofits. We also work in healthcare and private practices. And then we have a specific client in accounting and advisory services. And when I say we work in these areas, we do a lot of audits, and we also do a lot of tax returns. And so audits are something where we kind of review the financial standing of a organization and give you like a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And so we do a lot of government and not-for-profits, so like schools, or government county commissions and stuff like that. We do a lot of bank audits. We do a lot of auto dealership tax returns, construction tax returns. So it varies on the services we do provide in these areas, but we cover them all. So accounting career security. This I pulled from a different presentation, but basically what I really wanted to just show you all is that accounting is growing in the need, but our pipeline of accountants is not growing. So if you want job security, if that is important to you, if you want success and to move forward in your career, accounting is a great option because we have expected 130,000 jobs to be created in 2025. There's expected to be over $660 billion in revenue growth for accounting services in 2025. And it is the 11th best business job according to the US News and World Report. So accounting is a growing industry. Every business has money, you know, they have to file tax returns, they possibly need audits. CPAs, accountants are needed, they are necessary for all industries. And so if you've ever thought about it, now's the time. More on career security. So 75% of all CPAs will reach retirement age in the next few years. So baby boomer CPAs will be retiring. And that is a large population of CPAs. And so we'll be losing a great generation. And we need to replenish that with future incoming accountants and CPAs. Students choosing accounting has decreased within the past several years. And I've seen this firsthand. I've been doing this for 7 years. And it used to be it kind of not necessarily saturated, but there were a lot more accounting students than there are now. And so now in recruiting and fairs and stuff, we have to go out and impress the students, which is not a bad thing at all, but we really have to go out and attract students to come to accounting, to come to our firm. I've seen people go more into finance or marketing or MIS, which are great options as well, but accounting can be pretty universal. You can do finance with an accounting degree. You can go into marketing eventually with an accounting degree. MIS is its own beast. Those are computers and stuff. I wouldn't do accounting for that, but accounting can be pretty universal in the business world. CPA exam candidates have slipped from 50,000 in 2010 to 32,000 in 2021, which is a large drop. And you know, the CPA exam is very difficult. It's hard, and it's meant to be hard for a reason. So I can expect some normal decrease in popularity of it, but this is a lot. And then also remote working is now normal within the profession. You know, we have employees here that are a few of them that are strictly remote, and this all came from COVID. And a lot of people are remote, and even in other industries and in professions, remote working is even greater than it is here. Okay, so the different types of accounting that are out there, because there are a lot. There's public accounting, which is what I do. So I am a tax accountant. I do tax returns for individuals and businesses. But in public accounting, we also offer auditing. And we also offer like a small business bookkeeping type of work. There are various industry jobs. So you can be an accountant for a small business or a large business. You can be an accountant for WVU Medicine or your school district. And those kind of accountants focus more specifically on that business that they work for. Public accounting, you work on lots of different businesses. So they're different in the fact that I can bounce from different options and different work tasks in different clients. But like if I was an accountant for the school district, I would specifically be focused on the school district and the expenses that come in and the income that comes in and representing that. In public accounting, you can lead your clients through life altering events. You work closely with clients, and you can gain the trust of your clientele. and each day brings a new challenge. There's also government accounting too, which would be like working for your city or the state. First job expectations. I can really only speak from public accounting. Other accounting jobs can be different, but there's a strong starting salary in public accounting, and some places offer great benefits package. We offer great benefits here. We have challenging work, so it's not easy work, but it keeps you engaged, and I think it's rewarding because it's something new. I'm always learning in my work. The hours. So when you think of like a tax accountant, you think of how busy. Well, I mean, you might not think about it, but so through January through April, I'm pretty busy with tax season because I do taxes. But outside of January through April, I'm pulled back. I'm just a normal accountant working 40 hours a week. And so that's one thing about public accounting is we have those huge pushes in work time. But I will say one thing is that with an accounting degree or an accounting position, there's always going to be a busy time, whether it's tax season or if it's month end closing or year end closing. Any career is going to have a busy time where it might require you to work extra. But we do have flexible work arrangements that can help us with that. So when I was talking about the first job, salary expectations, in public accounting, it's about $61,000 in West Virginia. And this can vary based on where you're located and what kind of firm you're working for, if it's bigger, if it's smaller. But I would imagine that it would be around this area, which is pretty good for a starting job. So before all of this, I was in your shoes. I was a high school student trying to figure out what I needed to do with my life because I had no idea. So what I did know is that I loved math. Algebra was my go-to. I took business classes in high school as well. Morgantown High, I think you had to have a specific track that you chose, and it was either art or business or science. And so I just chose business because I had some background in with my family's small business and was just kind of encouraged to try out the accounting classes, and I really enjoyed them in high school. And then, like I said previously, I did career research on that website that kind of led me towards the CEO. And one way to get to the CEO was accounting. So how do you get here? Well, first you need a high school diploma, of course. And then you need an undergraduate degree in accounting. And these are specifically what I did. I did a master's in accounting, and then I got my CPA. If you get 150 hours with your undergraduate degree, you do not need a master's. You can just go ahead and take your CPA. And they're also trying to change that to make it a little bit easier so that you possibly would just need your undergraduate degree to take the CPA exam. And the CPA exam is 4 parts. It is auditing, tax, financial, and then there is an optional one where you can choose kind of which exam you want to take, but it is a rigorous exam to get that certification. Becoming a certified public accountant, it's education, it's experience, it's ethics, and it's the exam. That's how you get to be a CPA and how you fulfill this degree. So could accounting be right for you? Do you have what it takes to become a CPA? Do you like puzzles? Do you like math? Do you like technology? Do you like working in teams? Do you like helping people? These are all very important parts of being an accountant or being a CPA. So I mentioned some things that I did when I was in your shoes. So here's some items that you could think about doing if this is an option for you. You know, take an accounting class if it's available, join a business club or an organization, discuss accounting with a career counselor, or ask adults in your life that might be an accountant or know an accountant, and see if you can shadow them for a day to see what it's like. And then when you get to college, continue those accounting classes, join an accounting specific club, eventually start looking for accounting internships. We offer internships here if any of you end up coming to WVU in Morgantown. We also have internships at our other offices as well, but internships, whether it's in public accounting or in private or in industry, getting your feet wet in the career is crucial for you really figuring out what you like and what you don't like. You can also get involved with the West Virginia Society of CPAs. I have a little bit of info on that in just a minute. But that is our specific CPA state society where a good portion of CPAs are members, and it just highlights what it is to be a CPA. We do a few events throughout the year. We network, we get together, and we just kind of talk about things that we face as a profession and things that might be going on legislatively. Oh boy, I keep clicking out of it. Oh, there we go. You can also join the AICPA. The AICPA is the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. They have a free student membership. That is where some of this presentation came from. And they have just tons of information on the CPA profession and what it's like. There are scholarships out there that they can help you pay for college. They can have templates to help you build your LinkedIn profile. You can also receive guidance and tips for landing your first job. If you don't have a LinkedIn yet, that is something to think about possibly getting. It is a professional social media account, but it will in the future, but it really helps you kind of market yourself and put yourself out there for career opportunities. And then, like I said, the West Virginia Society of CPAs, their website's right there. They have student memberships for college students. They also have scholarships available for students. You can participate in committees that they have and be involved with other CPAs in the state. It's a really important to, represent our profession as a group and to support each other. So I definitely encourage you all to check out their website and get involved if this is something you're interested in. You can also follow the AICPA on all of these social medias at AICPA Student if you are interested. Okay, so now we're going to play a quick game, if you will. So would you rather, and I guess we're just going to have to say it out loud. Would you rather work in a cube or travel for your job? So work in a cube, raise your hand. Have you thought about this before? Because these are real life things. Do you want to work in a cube or do you want to travel? Do you want to be out there? No? Cube? Cube?
Oh.
Who wants to travel? Can you raise your hands? Yeah, there's a lot of travel, right? Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Oh, I lost my. Oh. Would you rather? Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. I just clicked through all of them. Work in a cube or travel for your job. Would you rather work by yourself or work in a team? Have you thought about that? You work in teams a lot now in school, but you also work as by yourselves. Have you thought about which one you prefer? Who prefers to work by themselves? A few? Who prefers to work as a team? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What about, would you rather investigate fraud or help save the planet? Fraud? No investigating, like bank fraud or like money laundering, maybe? Yeah. Okay, what about saving the planet? Yeah, okay. I like it. Good job. Okay. And these are just questions, guys. There's nothing to them. Okay. And then would you rather track the money or tell a story? Would you rather track the money like in a fraud situation? Yeah. Or tell a story like a tax return situation? Summarize it for the year. No? Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is our last one. Would you rather work for a company or own your own business? Work for a company? Yeah? What about own your own business? Okay. About 50-50. Perks to both. Okay, let me see. Well, in accounting, you can kind of do all of those. So you can travel. I travel a little bit, you know, not so much. I'm a mom, so it's harder, but there are accountants that do a lot more traveling. I did try to get a job when I was in college to be a internal auditor for Mylan at the time, which is now Viatris, and that required like 30% travel. So that would have been pretty cool. You can work at a desk. That's where I currently am. I'm at my desk in my office, which is where I prefer to work, versus like at home. You can work in a team. So when we're out auditing, we often have like a group of people that all work together out in the field. Or you can work on taxes by yourself, kind of like what I do. You can investigate fraud, like I said. There's all kinds of investigative accountants out there that investigate money laundering or financial crimes and stuff like that. You could also protect the environment. They need accountants to keep track of their money too. So you can keep track of the money for businesses or people or, you know, causes, and you can use finances to tell a story with tax returns or financial statements. You can also work for a company like I do with Suttle and Stalnaker, or you can be your own boss and own your own company, whether that's a accounting business like a firm like me, or even just a business where you have to, you know, keep track of things you sold and money that's come in. Those are all possible with accounting. Okay, so, oops, sorry. Does anybody have any questions for me? Has anything come up? Who knows an accountant? Can you raise your hand? Like, it doesn't have to be a CPA, just like an accountant, bookkeeper. One? Just one? None?
I knew one.
One. Is it the coolest person you know? Yeah. Does anybody have any questions for me? Anything, guys, you know, like what is it that I really do? Anything.
While they're thinking of some questions, I actually have one. I
Yeah.
can't remember at the beginning how long you said you've been in this how long you've been in this profession.
I graduated with my master's degree in 2017, so 7 years,
Okay, so in 7 years,
8
and
years.
I just you know, every profession changes. So how has the CPA profession changed since you started?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, tax law changes almost every time we get a new president. So that is constantly changing. AI has come out since I graduated, which is super fun. I'm sure you guys might have a little bit of experience with ChatGPT. There's also a tax version of that. So, or an accountant version. So that's out now. There's, you know, there's always some kind of threat with the CPA certification, you know, the state wanting to kind of not necessarily get rid of CPA exam, but just kind of make it less hard to get to, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. And so those are always things we have to look out for. And then, you know, just kind of growing in the field and growing in your knowledge. It's always something.
I have a question. What type of legal risks do the kids have when they're just starting out? Like, is there any protection that they could have to protect them when they're just starting out and learning?
Do you mean like if like at a firm, like after they've graduated college?
Yes, like if they start their business or,
So if you start your own accounting business, there is insurance that you would need, to kind of like protect yourselves legally from any kind of liability that may happen from the work you perform. As a firm, we definitely have this insurance that they pay for here to kind of protect us all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who are your biggest clients?
If I could tell you, I would, but I cannot disclose that. But I've worked on some pretty cool clients. I've worked on big schools like universities. I've worked on food producers here in Morgantown and gotten to see like their big lines of their machines and everything. And those things cost a boatload of money. I've gotten to walk through those. You know, it's just kind of crazy where I've ended up in my career. I never thought I'd, be on a roof checking out an air conditioner, making sure it's actually there and not some made up asset on a report. So, big clients. Any other questions?
So Morgan, oh, go ahead.
Okay. What's like the day-to-day responsibilities of a accountant?
Okay, day to day. So like during tax season, it's definitely get in here, work through as much tax returns as you can, and then go home and eat and sleep and repeat. Now that we're outside of tax season, it's more laid back. I have a specific list of stuff I need to get to. It's not just tax returns. Like we have some quarterlies that we are getting through right now, which are payroll taxes related. I also have things like this, that come up and I have to work on a presentation for. I get to travel down to Charleston on Wednesday this week to meet more students like you all and talk to them about accounting. And then there's also networking events and stuff that I go to regularly to meet new clients and to be a part of my community. So. Any other questions? Dale, did you have one?
Yeah, if they don't have any more, I'll ask one.
Yeah.
But I'd rather the students ask if they have one.
Anybody?
All you, sir. Go ahead, Dale.
You don't said you got
Nothing yet.
I think they're good. I don't think they have any more questions.
You're right back.
Okay. So I'll do a follow-up to his earlier question, not by name, but what is like the biggest client you've worked for, like biggest dollar wise? And can you share that amount? I don't know if you can or not. And then I have another question as well. I've always heard the term forensic accountant. Can you talk about what a forensic accountant? I know you had investigate fraud, and I don't know if that is what a forensic person does or not, and that kind of thing.
So I think the biggest company I've worked on, they had $80 million in revenue, which was a lot, and unfortunately this specific one wasn't a West Virginia based one, close, but not West Virginia based, but it was $80 million in,
Wow.
that is, top line, that is money that came into their business. That doesn't count like expenses they had or anything, but that was a lot of money for a business, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Forensic accountants, yes. So those are, they investigate fraud or, misuse of funds or, specific things like that. And I mean, really the only thing I can talk about with that is when I was in my master's program, some forensic accountants with, I think it was the FBI, I believe, they came and talked to us and they were pretty cool. So they investigate specifically money laundering and fraud. And, we were given examples, and we had to kind of track where the money was going, and you know, how it was being hidden, and there are very specific and creative ways that these money launderers or fraud and people hide money or move money. And that is a really cool profession to get into. It's very hard to get into. You know, you have to be able to work for the FBI and get that clearance, and you know, go through that training. But it is a very cool career that is out there. And the ones that we saw, they did carry guns and stuff. So if that's your thing.
So I have another one if they don't have one.
Sure.
So, how close to real life is the Ben Affleck character in the accountant movies?
That came out, it's pretty close. That came out, the first one came out when I was in college, and one of my professors was a little up in arms about some of his terminology not being right. And we went over that in class, but it was really funny. He hit it pretty
Nice.
spot on in that situation.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
I'll put my contact information up here. If any of you all have any questions or anything, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is there. I'm in Morgantown. I'm close to VU. If any of you end up coming to VU, please feel free to reach out if you need any guidance or mentorship up here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today, Morgan.
Of course.
I personally learned a lot about the profession myself, and from all the engaging questions that the students had, I can tell that they got a lot out of this. So thank you so much for your time. And this is actually our last presentation for our work-based learning spring program. So you were the last one. So you went out with a
Yay.
bang. You did a great
Yay.
job. So, and for anyone watching this back, if you are interested in rewatching any of our work-based learning sessions that we had, you simply just go to our website, educationalliance.org, and look for work-based learning, and they will all be there. Again, thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you guys so much.